All right, guys. What is going on? It is John Fib, and this is my YouTube channel. Welcome, everyone. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal Friday. This is a pretty volatile week. Today is February 3rd, so I think we had something earlier. We had NFP recently as well, so it was a little bit of a wild week. Let me see, Iffy. 1 second. Iffy, brother, I don't think I can hear you. But, yeah, so for everyone who's tuning in, yes, I do have Iffy on the call, so we're just working on getting that connected. And I'm not sure why I am live, but it's not the one that's supposed to be with Valentino, so maybe I messed up the stream key, but either way, I think we're all here, so we'll give it just a few more minutes to let people hop on and everything else for this afternoon session. And the indices have been pretty fun today, and I'm not anything at the moment, but I will definitely go over that. Iffy, I think it says you're muted on Zoom. One second, guys, while we work it out. Real quick, chat, let me see if we can get a sound check real quick. You guys can hear me, right? As I watch the NASDAQ trade lower. Olu says yes. Rams1 says yes. All right, cool. You guys can hear me. And likely the music as well. Unfortunately, I'm not in the NASDAQ anymore. Oh, that's the S&P anyway. Sorry, I was trolling you. There's the NASDAQ. Lunchtime did consolidate a little bit, but there was some nice shorts in there. And again, while we're getting Iffy on the call, just some of the things I was looking for. We traded through that imbalance, so those lows are probably on the table for later. You hear, brother?
So you can hear me now?
Oh yeah, there you go. I can hear you now. But like you're going on and off mute, so I don't know what's going on over there.
Text me through message if you can hear me, or reply in the Zoom, bro.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yo, stream, can y'all hear Iffy? Cameron says, hear you, no Iffy. Oh man, I should have held on part of that NASDAQ, but it's cool. I was focusing on getting ready for this stream anyway. All right, so we got iffy on visual. Now we just need audio.
Yeah, I have it muted.
Oh, okay. All right, you ready? And I know I didn't really like brief you beforehand, but you know, this is a stream where language doesn't really matter, so I've been known to drop a few curse words here and there, so you don't have to, you know, hold back anything if you don't want to. Man, that was a beautiful short too. I'm pretty sure we're headed for that imbalance. A 5-minute as well. All right, so anyway, I'll keep the NASDAQ posted here for just a minute, but what happened with Go Live? Hi, John. Go Live is still Go Live. We're still over there. But anyways, if y'all are ready to get started, we can go ahead and get started. Iffy, how you doing? All right. If are you still with us? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the mix-up is, but okay, so he can't hear me. Oh shit. Well, I don't know what to do, folks. I don't know what to do. I don't think this will change anything. Let me see. Can you hear me now? We probably should have did this beforehand. Now that I'm thinking of it. Guys, I know that y'all can hear me, but if he can't hear me, that's the problem. So I don't know how to fix it. We had Jen on here the other night and it was fine. So I don't know. I mean, I've got him. I can I've got him on video. I can see him, but he can't hear me, so he's not going to be able to ask or answer my questions and stuff. So tell him to watch the stream on YouTube so he can hear. All right, let's see if we can do that. Because it should be super low latency anyway, but if it's longer than a few seconds, then there's going to be a lag time. It was over 100-point drop on NASDAQ too. Let me know if you guys traded anything today. I was just looking at the indices and seeing the aftermath of, well, this morning, really, at 7:30 news. Lots of shenanigans this week. But let me know if you guys traded anything. All right, well, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and move on. So I'll just drop the zoom and we'll just have to figure out the settings later. So we'll keep it short and sweet today, and we'll end up doing this with Iffy next Friday, because this is taking too long. Okay. So it's probably my fault for not having the audio ready to go, but like I said, I didn't expect to have any issues, so we'll postpone to the 10th. We'll postpone to the 10th. All right, so put that on your calendar, Friday for the 10th. All right, so Cameron went long on oil after reacting up to 30-minute. Spread kept me out and went 1 to 8. So oil, ugh. I haven't even looked at oil in a long time. I know last year we ran above 100. Actually, that was close to all-time highs. We ran those monthly highs from April 2011. Sheesh. So we definitely have softened since then. So it looks like 61 is probably the next longer term target. But I don't even look at 30-minute charts realistically. But that wasn't a bad setup if you were looking for this in here. Like some short-term highs in there. That wouldn't have been bad. For a short, really. But I don't know about long. Well, I don't even have a 30-minute, but I guess if these highs weren't higher, if these were like lower highs, that would have been a nice target for the upside. And I guess on smaller time frame, yeah, some lows in here, break of structure, retracement, and we ran for that. But I'll be honest, I hardly ever look at oil, and I would not go long. At least on a much higher time frame, I don't see a reason to long oil. But hey, listen, a good trade is a good trade. You know, like I told one of my students recently, good trade is a good trade. You know, so those are the highs I was aiming to take out. Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. But again, it panned out very well. And you have 77.5 right there as well. I don't think it hit 78. That would have been much better. But like if there was a wick right here, like that, and maybe like, you know, like that, where it's like a high, a lower high, and then another lower high, that would have been like ideal for me. But like this, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but it did pan out. So I guess, but again, I'm not known for oil. We did end up calling the bottom when oil went negative back in this area. The futures went negative, not like US oil from TVC. You know what I mean? So there you have it. But that was it. You know, we looked at Halliburton stock back then too. That, you know, did very well, but that was like position trading. That was years ago. Felt like yesterday, but that was years ago. And I want to see where NASDAQ is at real quick. Okay, because we're only 24 minutes into the afternoon, and I still want to see if we trade down to that. So just to see. And I like this setup. If you really look at it, you know, we had a break of structure, and then we had like a mitigation here. The only problem with that is right at 11 we broke structure and then traded into that. So, you know, you're essentially during lunch in here, so it does a whole lot of nothing. So if you're in a short, you know, it's very boring. Or if you're in a long, like say from here, then it's not bad. But when price does nothing, personally, I can get very impatient. You know what I mean? So anyway, So that's it. Only a couple of you traded oil. No one else traded anything else. No indices, no currencies, or anything like that. Dow, very similar story. You see a low, high, or excuse me, high, low, higher, high. We trade through that. We end up breaking structure and then back up. Now, the only difference here is look at the amount of retracement. Okay. So like if we take all this off, what I mean, or what I'm looking at is this. So from this high down to that low that broke structure, the Nasdaq went around 61.8%, right? And it's like, okay, cool. But if you look at the Dow, you see how much deeper that retracement is from that high to this low. I mean, that's like 95% retracement. It does hit that up candle too. So if you shorted that and if your stop was here, it would have been very close. You know, you'd have been shaking it almost. But it does eventually shit the bed essentially. So that wouldn't have been terrible. Then the S&P, same thing, but I believe it actually respects this up candle here. So there's definitely a little bit of a variance there. And this up candle also ends up being the high end of this mitigation. See that? So, I mean, that wasn't bad, but yeah, I guess if you look at it from an overall standpoint, let me see something real quick. So we ended up barely running that high prior to 7:30. The news at 7:30, we ran lower. So it looks like we ran a couple short-term lows from yesterday, unless that was, yeah, that was the second. So that was Thursday, and an intraday low on Wednesday evening. So we took a short-term high, then we took some lows, and then our stock exchange open is here. So we opened, rallied, retracement, and then ran deeper, really above these highs, and actually more into levels of liquidity. So to me, you know, this right here is like a perfect distribution. You know what I mean? This is, oh my God, this is perfect. Like, look at that. You know what I mean? I think the only thing that would have made this better is if there was a divergence up here. I don't think we got one. No, we didn't, but you don't always have to have that. You know? So Raphael traded cable, British pound. Caught a buy below the open on Dow as well. Very nice. Hopefully you didn't hold on too long because I just described a whole bunch of shorts. So, and that's one idea I used to have is when you actually learn about accumulation and distribution. I had this idea, well, what if we just ping pong, right? Where like, let's say you bought this imbalance, and instead of like, let's just say you didn't have a target. You're like, you know, fuck it, I don't have a target. Okay, so like price hits a new high. And so like, to me, that would be a good exit for a long. Oh. Excuse me. So that to me would be a good exit for a long. But I had this idea, when you learn that the market moves from liquidity to liquidity, imbalance to imbalance, whatever. At a fundamental level, right? It's from accumulation to distribution, accumulation of longs, distribution of longs, accumulation of shorts, yada, yada. So my idea was, why don't I just go long, but then I'll exit where I can also go short. You know what I mean? So like, let me give you an example. Let's just say we long the Nasdaq, and then we see break of structure. It's like, okay, now the market has shifted. bearish, so this upswing, now I can exit my long and go short. You know what I mean? So it's like you're essentially constantly in the market. Okay, so that was kind of the idea. But instead of doing that, I don't do that, to be honest. And I think, seriously, I think we're about to get into this imbalance that I've been watching for the last 30 minutes or so, which I think still ends up being that 15-minute perfect. So I think we're about to just sink right into that. But I don't do that anymore. I would rather just exit at a new high, leave it at that, and then if a short does present itself, then I'd rather just take the short. So I'd rather just lock in, because personally I don't like seeing drawdown, you know. Plus, when you get out as price is going higher, that's usually when you can get really good exits, like this one or this higher high, like right there. You know, like as soon as price makes a slightly higher high, you know, getting out of longs is usually how you're able to get out at the high of the day, or get out at the low of the day if you were looking at shorts. Does that make sense, everyone? So it's a cool idea of trying to ping pong the market, but it's not necessary. So hopefully I said that correctly, or at least the way that I was thinking. And there it is, I think. Yeah, I can't tell. Okay, well, maybe not. So now again, for those of you that jumped on here recently, I'm not in a short anymore. I did short in this area, and when price hit this imbalance, I went ahead and got out of there because, you know, just didn't want to spend a long time today. It's Friday. Matter of fact, I told my students yesterday I wasn't going to trade today, so. But there's transparency for you. I did. All right, so at least as of like 2 seconds ago, we finally dug into that imbalance a little bit. So you see how that low is 12,660 and a quarter, and then this low is 12,658 and a quarter. So we traded like maybe 1 or 2 points into that. So if I was still short, that would have been my TP right there. Okay, now I'm not saying this is a long. I'm not saying that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we traded a little bit higher. But it's Friday. We had a wild fucking week, and I'm not with it. I'm not with the open risk for today. So there's that. What is your music playlist? Can you hear that? Can you guys hear the music? I think the problem is different because sometimes I have it through speakers, sometimes I have it on headset, and so I can turn my headset manually lower, so I can barely hear it. I want it like really low, but I never know what it's like for you guys, if it's too loud or if it's too soft, because sometimes you guys will not hear it, but I can see in OBS that there's volume. So I'm like, how can you not hear it when OBS is telling me that you can? So there's always a little bit of discrepancy there. But what this is actually, I can show you. It's this particular one is just 12 hours of free background music, copyright free music for creators and streamers by the Relaxed Movement. So they got a bunch of stuff. Like I played this mix a couple times, lo-fi chilled beats. It's just non-copyright stuff, that's all. You guys think it's good? Yeah, I think it's good too. It's very chill. If I can find jazz, I would do that, but I think a lot of jazz mixes are copyrighted or copywritten. English 100. Okay, whatever the word is. I just don't want to get copyright strikes because then I won't be able to get monetized. So, but more on that a little bit in the future. So, all right, there is the NASDAQ, which means, of course, the S&P probably followed suit, trading aggressively lower. Then same with Dow. Very, very aggressive movement lower. They're all pretty much making lower lows on small time frames, so that's cool. All right, let's go take a look at gold for just a minute. Silver too. Silver shit the bed today, man. Look at that. Look at that. So we were in this consolidation for a long time. It was only a matter of time before we ended up going somewhere else. So yeah, we're in a very seasonally bullish environment, but look at what we're coming off of. We went from 18 and a half, 19 roughly. So I mean, we spent a lot of time there, and we've rallied into January. Not a surprise. And we've done nothing for a few weeks. So it makes sense that we're trading a little bit lower. So unfortunately, physical metals losing a little bit of value today, about 5%. It is what it is, but that is the price you pay of swing trading. There is drawdown, or at least intra-swing drawdown with swing trading, especially position trading. So there's that. And gold as well. And I mentioned this the other day. I talked about this run on gold. I said I didn't like it. That's why. Okay. Now, sure, I did call longs on gold earlier this week. I did. And that panned out pretty well. But that was short term, wasn't long term. And so I'm not surprised personally that we have came back into this up movement. That's not a surprise to me at all. You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, just like silver, look at that swing here. So our gold went from 1625 all the way to 1950. So we had a 20% move on gold. 20% move. So it's not a surprise that we're pulling back, what, 4%? Maybe 5% from the high. So, and again, think about who's along, right? They're experiencing euphoria, and then they get a day like yesterday and today where they're going, rats, digging into the unrealized gain, you know? And me personally, I don't like that. I don't. I like locking in. So there's that, and then there's that monthly candle too. So anyway, matter of fact, we'll go to British pound too, but I just want to look at small time frame really quick. If you guys go to the community tab right here on YouTube, or if you have my Twitter, matter of fact, let me share that real quick. I forgot where it's at. Down there at the bottom right, at John Fibonacci is my only Instagram. It's my only Twitter, and of course we're right here on YouTube. But if you go to my Twitter, I shared this the other day. I'll just leave that up there for a minute. And if you go to the community tab here, you'll see that it was, I'll just keep the brush. It was about right in here. It's like 10:30 or 11, something like right in there, looking for 1935. That was just those highs right there. And the storyline prior to that was that you had a bunch of lows in here. Some of those were swept, not all of them, but you can see that this run lower here took out some recent lows. So then with that, okay, those highs here very clean, and then you have a low, high, lower, low, and there's like, you know, a lot of people would look at this as like a break and retest or whatever, but I look at that more as a mitigation. And so when price was chilling in there, that's when the idea was sent. That's the idea that I was confident in, and we rallied. Now, I did not think 1950. Okay, I didn't. However, we did get there, and then we spent a little bit of time there, and then there's your distribution. Rip, consolidate, rip. So very, very interesting for the gold market. And when price is at new highs, this is why I like to get out, or at least take partials, because look where you would be getting out at. That was the high of the week. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Oh, and I didn't mean to skip over your question. What do you expect for dollar DXY to do? Well, if you were here earlier this week on Monday, we talked about this. There was a low at 101.30, and we took it a step further with the imbalance below that at 101, and our low of the week was 100.820, which is right there. Now notice that. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. We'll do some intermarket analysis. John J. Murphy is the father of that, is considered to be the father of that, at least, which is cool. So when I talk about the dollar index, when I talk about intermarket analysis, okay, gold and the dollar, they have an interesting relationship. And so what I mean by interesting is that there is a correlation between the dollar and gold. However, the correlation, it falls in and out. Like, there will be a tight correlation, and then there's a very loose correlation. Like, for example, when it comes to like seasonality, gold has a very strong seasonal tendency, or average, whatever, in January and February, sometimes like November, December as well. And I just don't really see that for dollar. But if you do look at this, look where gold has topped. Okay, and again, gold is the one up here, for those of you that are looking at this. I thought I had a sneeze again. Okay, now we've got the markups on the dollar index, right? This is that weekly imbalance down in here. This is that weekly, daily, long-term low at 101.30, basically, if you round up. So when the dollar reached into that, okay, gold was above that high, right? Those equal highs from over here. So notice that gold topped, dollar bottomed. And then so this run higher on the dollar, okay, run lower for the euro, okay, and for gold, which you see right here. So again, that's another reason why I wanted longs on gold in here. Because if you look at the time, I know the chart's all fucking messy now, but if you look at it, the dollar was primed to go lower, and then gold was primed to go higher. Does that make sense? It's intermarket analysis. They basically say the same thing. Okay? So that's another reason for that. So, you know, all these people on Twitter want to argue and say all this dumb shit. Well, call a fucking trade then. How about that? Call a fucking trade. You know what I mean? Enough of the dumb shit. You know, put yourself out there. How about that? You guys keep asking about the 30-minute chart. I don't fucking look at 30-minute charts, man. I don't. I like every other time frame. Just like people used to ask me all the time about like cross pairs. Bro, I don't look at cross pairs. I don't. It's ass. I look at majors. So that 15-minute imbalance, see, look at that. Traded into that. It's not even respecting that 5-minute at all. You know what? It's only 12:45. This might end up making another low of the day. And I will cry if we get down here. Because I look at that. I'll look at the math on that and I'll go, didn't hold on, you know? So, but anyways, the S&P, it's ass. Okay, look at that. It gave all the gains back up in the matter of, it's been like not even an hour. Well, okay, so technically we topped out at 10:30, but this mitigation here, if you measure like, I guess from the high to where we are now, not in terms of points, it's 48 points. Okay, I'm talking about speed though. Look at the speed of that. It's been an hour. An hour. So this morning's low and like the intraday high was about an hour. So that's fine. So, and this is why a lot of the times I tell you, or I'm able to tell you that, oh, I don't think this is the low of the day, or I don't think this is the high of the day and stuff like that. It's all in the previous streams. I mean, they're 3 hours long. If you want to watch it, that's totally up to you. But for those of you that were there, right, a lot of those little things that we did, like, oh, I think it's going to rally a little bit and then dump lower. And then it does that, right? It's not to like, brag or no shit like that. It's just, it's the experience, right? It's been 47 minutes in the afternoon session. We've given up all of today's gains. And yeah, we might retrace to the upside, but given the speed of something like that, it makes me believe that we may end up trading lower. Okay. But I could be wrong. What are we coming off of? The target that we've had for the last few weeks. 4,200 is also up there above a long-term high. So we're coming off of that. And then you see this gap here too. Look at that. See that gap here? We probably traded into that this morning. Oh, that's beautiful. That's that daily gap right there. Filled that in, rallied, imbalanced, and then rallied. But to me, it's not just always about structure, but sometimes it's about speed as well. Know what I mean? So there's that. Anyways, so we've been on YouTube for, I think, 3 weeks now, and as of right now, you guys have provided over, I think it's 1,700 watched hours, over 10,000, almost 11,000 views, and almost 1,000 gained subs. Can you guys believe that? Almost 1,000 new subs in the last couple weeks, and that's all been you. Obviously I can't, create an account and go follow myself or subscribe to myself, right? You can't do that, and I definitely don't pay for followers. So all that is organic, and that is all based on you guys. So I definitely appreciate that. It's cool. And I'm gonna change the scene real quick because I need to see if this works. Real quick. Let's see if this works. Oh, it's not transition. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it all kind of came up at once. Let me see if I can do that again. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed already. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss future content. And just like the Instagram was up there, that's my only Instagram, at John Fibonacci. No ones, no underscores, no L's. I'm not going to ask you to send me Bitcoin. I'm not going to ask you how your trading is going or any of that. So yeah. And if you guys have liked the stream so far, it's been almost an hour, but if you've liked the stream so far, go ahead and give the video a like as well. You know, there's like 20 something of you on here. There's only 14 likes, so let's go ahead and get that up there if you guys got some value today for this afternoon session, as we yet again have watched price pan out the way that we wanted it to. So, you know, I'm not saying that there was trading opportunities, but if we were watching that imbalance, if we wanted that imbalance here, not that I would have traded this, but study that. Okay, this is the only up candle out of all this. Once we get about 12.10, and then we rally, but look at that. Look how the up candle here, price is unable to get through that until it goes lower and into that imbalance. And so as of right now on a 2-minute chart, it looks like we may end up getting a little bit of a reversal. So we filled that in completely. Bodies are respecting that, but I'm not doing anything with this. I'm done for today. I'm done for the week. Should have been done yesterday, really, but you know, what can I say? What can I say? You're home all day, you got charts all day. I mean, you say you're not going to trade, and then you go and you fucking trade. So, you know, I am who I am, I guess. And if you thought I was perfect, then you played yourself. Anyway, I'll have to look at that in a minute, because I don't have a TikTok. But apparently someone is impersonating me on TikTok. So there's been a lot of impersonations, bro. I mean, people have been impersonating me since like 2019, and they've been doing that to everybody. Everybody in the trade house, a bunch of people, everybody gets, you know, impersonated. It's really annoying, but what are you gonna do? Instagram doesn't do shit. None of the platforms do anything. And you know why? Because I think it creates engagement. It creates engagement, and creates fake followers and all that shit. That's why Elon, when he bought Twitter, he was like, I'm not buying this shit. You know, all your people are fake. It's nothing but bots and stuff. And Elon was smart for doing that. Now he ended up buying Twitter anyway, you know. But that was still a good idea. That at least he said that there was that contingency where, yeah, I'll buy Twitter, but there's that clause in there where it was like, but not if your followers are fake, you know? And that's why I think these platforms don't do anything about people being impersonated and all that, because it's like it creates, you know, more followers and more engagement for the platform, which to me, it's fucking fraud. This is what it is. Ghost followers and shit like that, it's fraud. But these companies, they don't give a fuck. What do you think would happen if all these companies, you know, Facebook, Amazon, Google, whatever, and they went to their advertisers and they were like, oh, hey, by the way, you know, 20% of our platform is bullshit. What do you think those advertisers are going to do? Well, they're going to say, all right, well, now I'm going to, you know, pay you 25% less. And then what happens to the stock price? What happens to those earnings reports? They get clapped. They get clapped. Right? So it's all a big scam. It's all a fucking scam, dude. All of it. And you wonder why markets do shit like this. They operate off of like mitigation and liquidity, and look at these turning points today. Just look at them. All the things that we talk about, And again, I know sometimes I'm wrong. I might be bullish and it goes lower. I'm bearish and it goes higher. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm absolutely not. And I definitely take losing trades. That's 100%. But a lot of the times when we speak publicly, the shit hits, bro. It's because the markets are that repetitive, because everything is controlled. All of it. Everything. The food, the air, the water, television, price action, social media. It's all the same, bro. It's all controlled, it's all manipulated, and it's all garbage. And so once you understand one thing, you'll be able to easily understand everything else. So if you haven't watched The Matrix, you need to go watch it. But I'm not going to keep you guys all day today. Again, we rescheduled Iffy for next Friday on the 10th. We'll get obviously the audio fixed before that, and go from there. So if you guys have any questions, or if you want me to look at something, I'll take a look. But as I'm only going to be here for another few more minutes, so if you have your questions, go ahead and ask, and then we will go from there. I want to look at this real quick too. Because I don't... Because I don't even know what the fuck that is. I don't even have TikTok on my phone. So, I don't know, man. I don't even know. Raphael, I'm not going to share the answers to that. When it comes to your point of interest, do you market, execute, or limit order? It depends. A lot of the times, if I'm in front of the charts, it may be market, or I may just set a limit and just watch it. It just depends. But I've done both. So I get that question a lot too. It's both. All right, so check that out. You have a break of structures to the upside. You have that imbalance being respected. Now this is super small time frame, and I'm just gonna watch that down candle here, because again, this is live analysis. I would not say to trade that. I'm just watching it to see. Let's see what we do there. If this was any other day, I think it would be okay. But let me tell you why. Why I wouldn't trade this live, because look at the moves we've had today. We've had a significant move higher. We've had a significant move lower. So for me, could there be like another significant move? Yeah. But with this short in here, once you're able to, or maybe so, I think some of you said you went long earlier this morning. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, if you went long and you got something, then why give it another push? You know, like, why push buttons if you're able to get something? So I think for that reason, since we've had a nice move higher and a decent move lower, I wouldn't long this. And if I did, my risk wouldn't be full. It wouldn't be full. It'd be like half or less. How long did it take you to be profitable? A while. And that's different for everybody. And I can never promise anyone else profitability. Everyone has their own journey. It's different for every single person. Don't let the Chinese get to your trades. Shit. Dollar index next turning point. Well, I explained that a little bit earlier. If you go look at the weekly, we'll come back to this in just a minute, and then we'll shut it down. We already talked about... Oh, did I delete it? this imbalance below that low. We reacted very nicely, so that was the turning point for this week. What we do next, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. So we'll see what we do coming off of that, and then go from there. Do you swing trade or only day trade? How do you decide that if you do? Well, it depends. If it's something on the daily time frame, like again what I shared on my community, I bought NASDAQ on the 29th of December. That was here. I got out everything yesterday. Okay. Now I know it looks pretty significant. And yeah, the move is, but you got to realize too that this is not margined. So it's not like holding a futures contract through all that. I mean, I didn't do that, but this to me was a swing opportunity for not just the triple Qs, but I'll drop this gold. But for the S&P, right? That long-term mitigation, which was announced both of those days in here. We did take a little bit, well, we moved lower essentially, but consolidated for a little bit. And then once we were off to the races, that was a target. We've met that. I sold all of my SPY yesterday as well. I don't remember what day I got into SPY. It was probably the 29th as well. I don't know. I have to go look. But either way, it was somewhere within this consolidation. So it wasn't like the greatest entry in the world, but when you're able to get moves that sustain for a fucking month, then, you know, it's not that bad. But y'all should look at some of these stocks that Jordan's been talking about. Some of those stocks are up like fat. I think he talked about Carvana and some other ones. I forgot what the other ones were. Let's look at just Carvana real quick. Cause that shit boned big time. It went from like 4 to 6 up to yesterday. It was like high as 18 to some change. So yeah, you know, props to Mr. Seven Sources for that one. You know, pretty cool. And ES's futures SPX is not the same. So if you want real-time futures, you need a futures broker, or you got to pay for the live data. I think it's only $5 a month or $6 a month. It's not expensive. So there you go. Or Circle said $5. Yes. All right. Well, there you go. It's $5. $5 a month. It's not bad, actually, for live data. Mason and Coinbase. Yeah. He did talk about Coinbase as well. He did, which was pretty interesting. So, anyway, I gotta go do some things today. So, I got my teeth cleaned yesterday by the dentist. Not only was that it's not expensive per se. I mean, it was a little pricey, not more than I would want to pay. But it was a good job. She my gums like are shit, so they were bleeding. Y'all ever been to the dentist before and they put those little like vacuums in your mouth, you know, the little suction tubes or whatever? Bro, they were like just taking blood and like, so it's clear, right? Like it goes in your mouth and then it like comes out and it's clear. And I'm looking at it, you know, and it's all red. It's red and they're just like taking out all this blood. I'm like, bro, am I gonna survive this? Am I gonna be alive in the next 45 minutes? So but it was cool. Dude, she cleaned my teeth like crazy, you know? And I think it was like 9 years since I've ever had anything done at the dentist. So I wasn't surprised that it, took a lot of work. It wasn't bad. Like I didn't ignore my teeth per se. Obviously I brushed my teeth, but when you don't get a dentist, like a professional, to clean your teeth in 9 years, you're gonna have, some issues. So I think I gotta go back next Thursday for some more work anyway. So we probably won't stream next Friday. So I know we rescheduled for the 10th. I'm having work done on Thursday. So I'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. Anyway, I'll end it with this. If we had long this down candle here, we would be in instant drawdown, wouldn't we? We'd be in instant drawdown. So, anyways, y'all can watch it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what happens. But I gotta go take care of a few things. So y'all be good. Hope you guys had a great week. I'll see you here on Monday. I have a special guest for you guys on Monday. I'll put the flyer out, probably tomorrow or on Sunday. But yeah, be here same time, same place on Monday, right here on YouTube. Okay. And I don't know what a smart money cube is, so you'll have to explain that one. But all right, Mason. All right, everyone else, y'all be good. And I will see you next time.